fucking woke up to shotguns pointed at me. It's one of the worst nights of my life. And I woke up that next morning and was like, yeah, I can't drink anymore. Like, I'm done. The whole, like, NELK era that a lot of people see me of is, like, this glorified chew-packing fucking douchebag. It's never really been who I am. I honestly think I'm more myself now than I've ever been in my life. I think it was just a perfect mixture of people when me and Kyle first met and started creating shit. And I think together we like molded this like perfect thing that just worked at the right time. It would just be like a million a minute kind of thing. It was fucking nuts. I'm doing this so that I can enjoy having a beer one day.
So we're at Sunday on a Friday. Why did you call it Sunday?
I love Sundays. It's the best day of the week.
What's so good about Sundays?
Sundays are just the fucking... You know what's so funny? I just thought of this the other day. I was watching this movie, and it said, like, a Sunday painter. You ever heard that expression? It was like someone who's not, like, you're not a real artist. You're not a real painter. You're just a Sunday painter. But, so it's like the person who does the thing they love on a Sunday. And there's a lot of other meanings to Sunday, but I was like, that's kind of sick. Because it's like, we're all just here, just a bunch of dope young dudes trying to like create dope shit that we all love, and we do it every day. So that's Sunday.
What's the model for Sunday? I see you guys have like your own blank brand. You guys are getting into like Zoomies and PacSun. What is like the overarching like goal or objective for this whole company?
That's a big one. I'm still writing that out. I got a plan right now. I'm writing 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, 10 year, and lifetime for all of Sunday and just for my life. But big picture right now is continue doing these drops, these collections we've been making, just launched last year, and slowly just build a bunch of new projects. We got a network in the works for Sunday. We got 2 new shows that are fully developed, dropping this year. Expand that and figure out, you know, what lanes we want to be on the network side too. Like same thing as Vice or any of that, like just original content, original documentaries, original series, like whatever we want to do. And then the same thing on the brand side, just grow Bloody Sunday to the moon, run creative on that, but also grow new brands when we want to. Like same thing with what we just did with Zoomies. We're launching a new brand called Some Kids. And I just feel like a lot of those are going to happen through the years. You know what I mean? Like we just wake up and we have a great idea as a team for like a sunglass company. It's like we have the infrastructure to like go do that. So like, it'll just be fun to do it, you know?
Do you think it's possible to make millions of dollars and still be blacking out? Or do you think you have to be sober and like you have to fucking cold plunge and all that?
It is possible. I'm a fucking, I mean, I did it, but it's fucking, it gets old, boys. You're going to wake up one day and you're either not making it because you're just sabotaging your own life and you're 33 and you're fucking a dishwasher and you're like, bro, I got to fucking fix this shit. Or even if you do make it, you're eventually going to wake up and be unhappy. So just fucking, I don't know, have some fun and then fucking start building shit, man. If you don't have like routine, if you don't have like structure in your life, you're only going to be doing 10% of someone who does. Because that was one thing I learned when I like changed my life and, you know, just had structure for once in my life is like, I was just able to do 10 things at once, you know? There was so much more in me to fucking just create shit.
I think a lot of people that go from that lifestyle to go into like a sober lifestyle, like find Jesus or like have like a fucking click on moment. What was like your light switch moment where you were like, oh, this is not sustainable?
Oh, fuck. A lot of them.
What was the one that like made you want to be like, all right, fuck all this shit. Let me like tighten up.
Probably, let me think. I mean, the main one was when I got arrested because I went to the wrong mansion in Hollywood. When I went home, I blacked out, flooded a mansion, fucking woke up to shotguns pointed at me. They thought I broke an entry. This fucking crazy night. Lost all my money, everything, trying to get out of that. And, but dude, like that, I mean, that sounds horrible, but that was like one of handful of things that were like wake up calls and life just being like, bro, like, you're having too much fun. And so, yeah. But I mean, to be honest, like the real thing was I remember I first stopped drinking for 30 days on my dad's birthday. And I was like, hey, I'm just going to do 30 days. And then I went to Vegas for a full send drop. I had like 3 or 4 drinks, and my brain couldn't handle it. I think because I drank for so long, I literally had like a breakdown, and I couldn't breathe. I like fucking, it was like this one of the worst nights of my life. And I woke up that next morning and was like, yeah, I can't drink anymore. Like, I'm done. And I haven't had a drink since. And I think I'm like kind of scared to have a drink because of that night, but being scared of it is probably a good thing. Keeps you on track, you know? So,
What does your dad think about everything? Because I know MTV Pat sends all the time.
I mean, he's proud of me, but, I mean, dude, he's older. He's retired. He made his money. He's fucking chilling. Like, all for him. Fucking go enjoy life, you know?
Yeah.
I'm hoping that, like, I'm doing this so that I can enjoy having a beer one day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I remember my mom said that to me when I was younger. She's like, don't be the guy that can't have a beer. And I was like, that's so true. Like, if you like don't abuse it, you can actually like live a normal fucking life and have a beer at the end of the day, you know? So
When you were in like the NELK Boys in the Full Send era, were you the one kind of like masterminding all the merch and like coming up with the ideas in terms of the merch?
I was definitely more on that side of the company. That was what I was most interested in. But no, I can't take credit for that. I mean, it was like a 50-person team, and even at the beginning stages, I think it was just a perfect mixture of people. Like when me and Kyle first met and started creating shit, whether it was the clothing, the branding, the videos, the network, the business, like we came from 2 different worlds. And we had 2 different visions, and I think together we like molded this like perfect thing that just worked at the right time, you know?
Yeah.
Like a lot of it is luck, you know? Like you just create it at the right time, and yeah. But when it comes to clothing and shit like that, I mean, yeah, I was definitely fascinated by like when we started building a sourcing team and being able to make any hard good in the world, and you know, looking into like better fabrics and making cut and sew, like that was like all new to me. But when you're excited about something, it's hard to not work endlessly on it, because you're just like, this is fucking sick. I can do anything. Like you see something in a magazine, you're like, whoa, can we make a jacket like that?
Yeah.
Like, can we do custom hardware? And can we, like, you know what I mean? And you start
Yeah.
figuring it all out. And I'm 30 years old and I've been doing this shit for a decade, and I'm still stoked on the little things like that. I just like, whoa, we can fucking custom that part of it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Did you know when you were doing it in that moment, did you know it was going to be as big as it became?
No.
It was just like a backyard project that kind of blew up?
I mean, I knew that we could do this and we could make a life out of this, but there was no way of knowing that it would get that big. I mean, dude, it was like, it was
Insane.
fucking nuts.
Legendary.
Yeah. It was like, it's like, it comes down to like the Shopify account when there would be a drop back in the day. It would just be like $1 million a minute kind of thing. You're just like, it doesn't even look real. You're like, this is a fucking video game. You know what I mean? Like, like, I don't know. It was fucking.
Did you ever get sick of the ding, the Shopify ding?
I don't think we had that on.
Oh, you had to turn it off.
Oh yeah, that would have been a techno record if that was on. Man.
That's crazy. If you could go back to yourself, like in that phase of your life, what's one thing that you would tell yourself?
Slow down. Slow down, and yeah, don't try to do it all at once. Life is long, especially when you start making it, you start popping off, you constantly think you have to like grab on because this thing's gonna evaporate in a second. But like, you're building a resume, you're building you're just opening more doors for more like bigger projects to do, and anything you can think of can actually come to life now. So like, calm down and fucking work on building it. Don't think you gotta like fucking go, you know?
Yeah.
But I think it's like hard because some people, man, if you live those decades of your life grinding, and I'm sure people watching this can relate to it, like you're grinding, and you're not getting anywhere, you're not making any money, you're not doing this, but then the second it works, it's hard to not be like, dude, I gotta fucking do this now. Like, this is fucking working. It's like, you did it. Fucking enjoy it. And that, I know it's a long answer, but like, goes back to the corny saying of just like enjoying the ride. Like, there's nothing at the end of that tunnel that you're imagining. You're thinking there's gonna be this gloriful thing at the end of the journey, and it's like, it's not like that. You have to enjoy getting there too.
accomplishing everything you've accomplished, what are some of the things that you're like, what are some of the problems and complications you're facing now starting this new journey? Like, what are some of the hardships that you're like running into?
I mean, everything is it's just problem solving every single day. I guess the big one is I'm a little bit addicted to this and work and creating shit. I just fucking love it, and this is where I get all my happiness from. So obviously when you're starting a brand new company and getting the foundations built, if you like let it absorb all of your happiness when you're having a bad week or a bad drop or anything, it like I've definitely made it where it can affect me too much personally because I'm so invested, and I've been kind of trying to like figure out making sure that there's two lanes here. It's like I have my business and I have what I'm passionate about, but then I also have a life, you know what I mean? And so yeah, just trying to not be too crazy.
What do you do in your personal life to kind of like balance that out and not be so absorbed to like the day-to-days here?
Just a bunch of shit. You gotta have hobbies, man. I do MMA, I skate, I run, I bike. I mean, I live right next to the beach, so I just like try to take advantage of that, man. I got a brand new house that I've been renovating, and all that shit brings me happiness, man. Just going like, I'm gonna do it tonight. I'm gonna go there and finish painting this wardrobe that I'm working on. Like, it doesn't matter, but like it does matter. I'm trying to like learn that like if it makes you happy and it's numbing, but it's like it matters to you, then just fucking do it. Not everything has to be this like business or this dollar figure that you're trying to grow, which is if you're kind of like me or you're like a person like that, where you're just everything in your life is about either bettering your life or like building something. You have to like stop and remind yourself that like, dude, if you just want to sit there and like do a fucking puzzle. You know what I mean? Like you can just do shit that like makes you happy, you know?
Did you ever think when you were in your heydays of like blacking out, did you ever think that at 30 that this would be your Friday night, you're painting a closet?
Dude, honestly, yes. I've always been like, the whole like NELK era that a lot of people see me of is like this glorified like chew packing fucking douchebag that like fucking just parties and shit, but like it's never really been who I am. It was like a lifestyle that I went through, and I honestly think I'm more myself now than I've ever been in my life, if that makes sense.
You think you had to go through all of those things to get to this point?
Oh yeah. I think that's just the definition of life though. Like everything you've seen or done or felt it creates the next moment of your life, is the way I see it. It's the butterfly effect. It's like where literally everything, like this conversation we're having right now is gonna affect a year from now, because I'm gonna think differently because this added some kind of value to me or whatever, right? So I think, dude, yeah, there's no way of looking back and being like, oh, I should have changed this or I should have did this. It's just like, it's all just information that is making you, you know? It's the way I see it.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot though.
That's
so,
good.
Yeah.
What is the one thing you look for? Because I see you like you're building a team now. You have a lot of younger guys that look up to you, and obviously they want to learn from all your accomplishments. What is the one thing that you look for in a team member, and how do you manage like that aspect of like building a team?
Dude, very, very complicated in business is building a team. Especially, you know, we were just talking about this. I think building a brand or a company that's based around creativity has got to be one of the hardest things to manage, because you're not just, it's not just, hey, we're a construction company and you build a house and it costs this much and you sell for this much. It's like, it's not just a numbers game. It's creative people are very, what's the word? Like they have personalities that you have to know how to like work with, and you also got to know how to like how do I get this person stoked and also excited, and also what are they excited about? Like here at Sunday, it's not like, hey, it's Jesse's vision and that's it and they all work for me. It's like, I have a vision, but my vision is a mixture of everyone here's vision. I'm trying to slowly, especially on the media side too, like what do you actually want to do? Once I know that you're at the company and you're a hard worker and you're smart and you're creative, it's like, let's find out what actually makes you happy too. What would you be stoked on? Because you can't pay an employee enough to make them bring that kind of energy. You know what I mean? Like when you're actually stoked about a project you're working on, you will work fucking 70 hours that week, and you will, like, those hours will matter because they're like excited about what they're creating. So I think it's a big thing. I didn't learn that, like, you know, quickly. It took time to learn how to build the right team.
That's dope. Last question. If you could go back to like your 18-year-old version of yourself, and you're just like in the car fucking on the road and just like trying to figure it out, right?
Yeah.
What's the one thing you would go back to yourself and tell yourself?
I'd tell him, I'd say, it's all gonna be fine. Fucking chill out. You're good. I think my whole life I've been like chasing security a little bit. I've been just like, you know, anyone who grew up with like not a lot of money or some bullshit, they just like, they're trying to find security. And it doesn't really matter how much money I make. You can't just like fill that hole. You know what I mean? So I think that like, if I would just tell that person that like, the same thing we're kind of talking about is just fucking enjoy the journey. You're a hard worker. Fucking, it's going to work out, you know? And I'm stoked at how it planned out.
I feel like I just left a therapy session.
Yeah, my bad.
No, it's good. We give you guys all the free game. I mean, this is literally a legend in the game. I appreciate it. You want to walk us through some of the new collection and some of the drops, or you want somebody else to do it?
Yeah, you guys should interview the team.
What are you working on right now?
Right now, I'm working on a Royal Copenhagen plate set.
Is
for
that
Bloody Sunday?
Photoshop, Illustrator?
Illustrator and then into Photoshop.
Did you go to school for that?
No, I don't. Fuck design school.
So how'd you learn?
I just kind of learned myself. I've always been like using Photoshop like back in high school, so it just kind of like came to me naturally, I guess, just from working on it.
A lot of YouTube tutorials?
Yes, a lot.
How many Jabbar Bar tutorials have you watched on YouTube?
I don't know what that is.
The ox when they give you the tutorial?
No.
No, he doesn't know.
Wait, who?
You know, like the Indian guys that be like, so today I teach you how to.
Oh, yeah. I mean, maybe back in like 2007 or something.
Bro, I live off of those. I like learned everything from those guys.
Yeah.
Those guys know all the hotkeys. They know all the shortcuts, all of it.
Yeah, dude. Do you use Photoshop and all that stuff?
I do. So I got arrested and I was like on house arrest.
Yeah.
And I was like sick of beating my meat every day. So I was like, fuck, I need to learn a new skill.
Yeah.
And I just started learning Photoshop and Illustrator. The Trump flag.
Oh, hell yeah.
Did you design that?
Yeah, that's mine.
Love that. Can you break down this hoodie? Did you design this hoodie?
Yeah, I did actually. So, fuck a trademark because we couldn't trademark Sunday. So we said fuck a trademark and we trademarked Yadness, which is Sunday backwards. So, this is our hoodie that we're releasing. And a few months ago, we released the t-shirt version of this. So this is our hoodie, and it's fat for short, and it's like a Sunday piece. So I don't know. This might be a sample, but yeah, there we go. Yadness Sunday.
That's so interesting. So you guys couldn't get the Sunday trademark, and that's what inspired this design.
Yes.
How do you find other like design inspirations? Like I see you guys design like these crazy garments.
Yeah.
Where do you find inspiration from?
Well, the way Bloody Sunday started was pretty much like a nostalgic brand. Our early designs, you see like the Beanie Baby one over there. It's all kind of like rips of like old school, like 90s, like early 2000s stuff. But we've been like changing it up a little bit. We kind of passed that phase. But mainly, yeah, it's just like nostalgic art from our childhoods, pretty much.
What is this? I see the bongs in here.
Yeah, I don't touch those. He does though.
Get real creative.
Yeah, we get sent a bunch of stuff, so we gotta keep them on deck.
Okay. So what do? You rip a bong and go and like to edit Warpole?
Yeah,
Galaxy.
it's the late night motivation. We're stuck in this room a lot, so.
What are you guys working on?
Right now, it's the first video we're gonna drop in January, which should come out this Sunday. It's pretty much a recap of all of 2023 and pretty much where we're trying to go moving forward.
So this is the media department.
Yeah, all
Yes.
the editing.
editing, shooting, story development, all that.
Well, what do you guys use? Premiere Pro?
Premiere, After Effects, Photoshop, the whole Adobe suite. You have to.
How'd you all day running code? Jesse Itzler, are you a runner?
I'd like to think I am, but then I forget to do it, and then I'm not a runner. So I just I like what he built with his company, and I like to run when I can. But yeah.
What is how did you learn how to do like Premiere Pro and like editing and stuff like that?
Oh man, it's just time, practice, consistency. YouTube is like there's a what is the word? Plethora. That's a big word.
What is the one thing that inspires you to like do this type of content?
It's just the stories and the people that you tell those stories with. That's what we're trying to do this year with this kind of revamped, YouTube strategy. Is like we just want to tell great stories and we want to inspire people and have people, leave the screen being motivated. I think that's the biggest thing that I like about it.
What do you think makes like a good editor?
Good editor, you have to really, see past the technical stuff. You also have to have your own vision. A lot of people go to film school and think they're going to be very technical, which works. It's great. But, what's your style? Like, how do you want to be known? What's your vision? What's your taste, essentially? So I think, to be a good editor, to be a good shooter, graphic designer, all that, you have to have something that separates you from everyone else.
Did you go to school for like all this?
I'm a film school dropout.
Oh, okay.
I went for a semester, one best short film with a couple buddies of mine my first semester, and then I dipped out to LA.
What is the one advice you'd have to like the 18-year-old version of yourself?
Oh man, to myself?
Yeah.
Don't stress. Just have fun. I know it sounds cliche, but the more you stress, the quality of work will go down because your brain's just not focused on the work. So for me personally, I would say just keep having fun and go meet people, shoot, and tell great stories. This guy's the storytelling wizard right here.
What makes a good story?
Well, for one, there has to be a payoff, but it also has to be like cohesive and easily digestible to the audience. Making it too confusing or too sporadic and random just like makes everything way confusing.
What do you mean by payoff? Like, what does that mean?
So in the beginning of the story, usually there's some sort of setup, and then by the time the story ends, like there should be a resolution to that. So like, say in the beginning of a story, we start a collection. By the end of that video or the end of that story, you should see us releasing that collection.
Did you go to school for film?
Yeah, I did. I went to film school, graduated from that like Harvard. 3 or 4. Yeah, I went to Harvard.
Harvard Law and film.
Yeah, no, I went to film school.
What would you say to all the non-film school dropouts? Do you think it's beneficial? It's worth it, or?
When I entered film school, I had already been making money off of like commercial cinematography and stuff like that. So to me, it really helped with like figuring out how to organize myself and like more of the technical aspect that he was talking about, because that's kind of what I was lacking. So for me, it helped a lot. But for other people who kind of already had that side down, it can be a waste of time. It's really just all about where you are and what you want to do.
You got to tailor your learning to what you need to, develop. Like you said, if you already have the technical stuff down and you need to grow your vision, then do that. But if you have a really deep vision and you need to learn the technical skills to get a job, then do that. It really just comes down to like, what are you trying to learn? What are you trying to get out of, these experiences in your career?
If you had one thing you could say to your 18-year-old version of yourself, what would you tell yourself?
That's a good question. Probably just keep your head up. Like, stuff happens, stuff goes wrong, especially in a creative field like this. Like, when you're planning out a piece of content, whether it's like a book you're writing or a movie you're making, it's never just point A to point B. It's like constant ups and downs. So just work through it and keep your head up.
If you guys want to be editor, keep your head up.
Don't be an editor.
What do you do for Sunday?
I do operations for them, so I do all the boring stuff outside of the creative. I overlook the finances, I do all the legal, I do business development.
You're the suit.
I'm the suit, yeah. I'm the only suit here.
You see, he's the only one with a degree here.
With a $2 bill, I gotta make sure the money's flowing right.
Yeah. How did you get into being the suit for a company like this?
I kind of just fell into it, honestly. I mean, I don't have a background in it. That degree you're looking at is a science degree, so
It's photoshopped?
yeah, it's actually not even real. I bought it. No, I'm more of a logistical minded man and I'm not very creative. So like, I felt like I really took into like the business side of things, and I just like YouTube University conversations and just learned through it. But yeah, now I feel like I have a grasp after 2 years of doing it.
Do you have any advice for somebody that's maybe in college and they're like, dude, my dad wants to be at fucking PwC or like he wants me to be a consultant. Do you have any advice for that kid and he doesn't want to do that type of shit?
Yeah, I think number one is get the experience, in-person experience. Nothing like anything that you read in a book or you watch a video of, like nothing relates to the in-person experience. If you have a connection to somebody that will allow you to come in and just shadow them, I feel like you're gonna get way more out of that than like sitting there trying to read a book and like applying that to something.
What do you have to say to the younger version of yourself when you were at Florida State and you were studying science? What is the one thing you would tell yourself?
Keep an open mind, because where you end up is not exactly where you think you're going to go.
So you keep an open mind, guys.
Exactly. There's multiple ways of keeping an open mind. That's one of them.
That's funny. What are you guys working on? What's the next like venture for you guys here?
It's really, so we got the merchandise, that's really kind of going, that we focused on the last quarter of last year, and now this year we're trying to ramp up on the creative studio side. So we're really trying to look in terms of bringing more clients in this year than we did last year. And then in addition to that, unlocking the media side, which...
When you say clients, like, what do you mean? Like other brands, other artists, or...
Yeah, there's really no limitation to it. I mean, we'll do anything from the basic design, or we'll go all the way to, product, physical good being made. So, I mean, it could be another brand. It could be somebody that wants to start a brand. It could just be doing a one-off collection for somebody. There's really no limit to it. I mean, the way that we work with people is, it could be a paid service. It could be equity. It could be net profit. It just, we're pretty flexible in our business terms, and it just, as long as we're excited, it makes sense.
What would be the ideal client that you're looking for?
For me, for the man that looks at the books, a corporate company. Let's get Nike in here. Let's get Honda in here.
Here's the email.
Let's get the big times in here.
Yeah, anyone who's watching, get the big timers. Hit the email right here.
Yeah, no, the C-suite. I mean, other than that, anybody that's like pretty ingrained in the creative space, like they get the most juiced up working with people that are not so rigid in their thoughts and like they fuck with other creatives. So that's the ideal client. But for me, in terms of like money coming in, let's get the C-suites in here.
So most of the people that follow our page, they're fucking the misunderstoods. Like they want to be fucking dripped out with Rick Owens, and they don't understand like there's a plus and a minus, right? How do they go about finding somebody like you to partner with them?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. I think network. I mean, a lot of the people that we've met and a lot of people that came into this company is through our network. I mean, I feel like it's just like anything else in like a friendship. Like if I introduce you to my boy, like, there can be some degree of trust. I would just try people that are within your network, just let them know that you're looking for somebody, in this position. And then from there, because I mean, if you try going through like the,
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn, it's just like, dude, that's such a long process. I think networking, like assuming that you have a big enough network, that'll be the best way. I'm unbranded.
He's trying to get a Nike sponsorship.
You're like, yo, get the logo out there.
Well, you're usually the one that keeps me on check with that.
What do you think is like the number one thing that creative people should know about the business side?
That is, I guess. I mean, it's interesting. It's interesting in itself. I'd say the number one thing is that the numbers are the heartbeat of the business. If you don't pay attention to the business side of it and the numbers don't make sense, then you're not going to have a fucking business. So people that kind of have a blind eye to that is very, very foolish. I feel like in my opinion, it's more important than what you're doing creatively. Like if it doesn't make sense in terms of margins, in terms of profit, then it's like you don't have a business.
Do you think that creative people could learn the aspects of business?
Yeah. I mean, I learned it in a couple years, so like I feel like anybody can learn it at the end of the day. It's just like, do you have the passion? Do you have the care? Or do you have the motive to do it at the end of the day?
So all you creative people out there, get an open mind and go find you a suit.
Yes, sir.
It's gonna help out your business. I appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Thanks.